Well, good afternoon, everyone. We are back for another Hayward CPA Live. Please bear with us. We are experiencing some technical difficulty on James's end, so you are with me. So, welcome. Happy Saturday. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from all the parts of the world, whoever may be watching, joining, and or will be watching this live today. We the topic of today we wanted to talk about is what does business mean to you, right? What does business mean to everyone in terms of how does business get done? How do you execute it? What are your steps? What are your processes? What are your understandings, right? Um, a few of the things that we come across in terms of that specific topic of what does business mean to you. Let's talk about it. We've done several lives where we talk about business strategies in terms of tax planning and the mindset around how do you go about structuring the business? What are the goals? What are your outcomes? What are you looking to achieve? So, again, the question is um, what does business mean to you? Good morning. um, good morning. Good morning. Thank you guys for joining. So take a moment to think what it is, because technically there's three phases of this. Ultimately, when we say technical, there are three phases of business, right? But how do you define what that is, and how do you go about structuring your attack plan? We like to call it attack plan and action plan to go ahead and execute against what those three phases of business are. Right. And so before I get into what those three phases of businesses are, you know, we have a couple of people on, pose a question or pose a thought. What does business mean to you? Any idea, any ideology, what does that mean? Now I'll just give it one moment to see if any of our participants would like to give a thought, share a thought, or ask a question. And for those that are on or will be watching this, again, take a moment and write it down. Making money. Okay. Making money. So your idea of business is making money, meaning lifestyle. Are you creating the business for yourself to be an employee? Because it's all in how you look at how and why you're doing business. And in there, we will go back to what your plan is. What's your plan? How do you execute your plan? The what, the why, the how. But before we get into that, what does business mean to you? Making money. Okay. Do you have to start a business to make money? In most cases, you don't. You could become a W-2 employee or stay a W-2 employee. Does having a hobby, you're really good at a hobby, you're really good at something specific, you're creative, you're innovative, people around you, friends, family, strangers, actually like what you're doing. It's a hobby. It's not pressing. You don't have to get up at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, get dressed, get something to eat, drive to a location, be there, 9 to 5 or whatever the hours, first shift, second shift, third shift, right? It's that's not the hobby. But does a hobby necessarily turn into a business? Because now it's work. And running a business, there's many facets of running a business. And the number one facet that we all come up against is the pressure. There's intense pressure to run a business. There's two components inside of that business. There's insights, what you learn, right? What you learn, what you know. So you go from learning to knowing. And then being able to take action based off of those insights and or what you have learned. Just want to kind of let that sink in for a moment. So we have three different phases of business. You have your planning phase, your budgeting phase, and your forecasting phase. Now, why are those the three main components of business? Because if you don't have a plan, what are you running a business as? If you don't have a budget, how can you manage the business? And if you don't forecast, what do you have to look forward to in the business to grow the business? Now, all three of those components comes back down to making money. Yes. But what's behind that? Making money, influence, opportunity, market, messaging, branding. And something that we talk about a lot on these lives, something that we do for our clients, something that we talk about when prospects reach out to us to inquire about our services is taxes. Taxes, 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 tax planning. How do I reduce my taxes? How do I not pay extra fees and penalties and taxes? How do I not give all my money away to the government? Taxes, 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 taxes. But again, what does business mean to you? And how do you do business? Taxes is not the end all be all. It's a part of the process in running a business. So what we find here is most people are concerned with how do I save on my taxes, which is good. Okay, we'll accept that thought. But I don't think that's the initial on step to it. I believe it's how do I make money that I can hold on to? And then how much money do I need in terms of my lifestyle? Now, if you're a solopreneur, sole proprietorship, you're taking care of the needs of the business and your family lifestyle. If you're a business that has either hired consultants or you may be an S corp or C corp that has employees, staff, etc. Now you need cash flow not only to run the business but to pay your people, and to which we run across in most cases, folks don't pay themselves. It's always another daunting question. How do I pay myself? Or I haven't paid myself. When can I pay myself? And then how do I allocate that? How do I group that? How do I categorize it? What is my income tax rate look on that for paying myself? There are a lot of different questions, a lot of different scenarios. And we try to answer those on these lives. We try to give some insight beyond just the surface level of terminology. Because if you remove terminology, there's action behind it. You have to get up. Today's another beautiful day. For those that are in business, you woke up today thinking about yesterday. What do you have to execute towards today so you can prepare for tomorrow? So I'm going to pose this question. Again, these for folks that are with us here right now, as well as anyone that will be seeing this live in the future. Do you have a plan? Do you have a business plan? And what does that business plan mean to you? And is it a living document? Is it a living source? Is it a living GPS for you that you're actually utilizing and adjusting? Now, when we say living plan, plans adjust. They definitely adjust. Now, they adjust not only to the elements of your business, cash in, cash out, right? But it's going to adjust because of what's happening on the outside. It's going to adjust what's happening on the outside, what the market is doing. What are some of the initiatives of the world? Grants, loans, recession, gas prices, grocery prices are increasing. These are real things that happen. And we want to make sure that we're not reactive to these elements that affect us and our business. So having a plan in place, again, doesn't have to be bulletproof because nothing is ever final. But in essence, having a plan will allow you to adjust. So you have your three phases: your planning, your budgeting, your forecasting. You have your here, now, and then. So having a plan will allow you to focus on tax planning and strategies based off of what your plan is for your business as well as your life. What are your goals for the next year, 3 to 5 years, so
Right.
on and so forth.
You got me. Am I finally here? I
Right.
should be.
So I
Can
think
you
we
hear
have
me?
my esteemed colleague trying to come in here. Can't hear you yet, but
Can't hear me
okay.
yet.
Let me know when
What is going?
you want to dive in. We're just talking about what does a business mean
Oh, yeah.
to our listeners.
Yeah, how you do business, right? Yeah. Pardon
So
me.
back to where I was at. Those three elements: planning, budgeting, forecasting. The here, now, and then. The here, now, and then. And it's kind of, I'm harping on it. I'm staying on it because it's super important as we grow as an organization and we try to extend insights and help folks take action. It's important for everyone to kind of look within as well, because as long as you understand what's happening within, as long as you are working with your plan, you'll be able to adapt and adjust to the environment and to the extremes around you.
No doubt.
Nothing is ever static in business. It's constant roller coaster ride.
No doubt.
You have
So,
your calm points, you have your anxiety points. Your calm points, your anxiety points. And taxes seem to be the one thing that we get the question. Now, that's not to say that calling and asking about taxes, how do I reduce my taxes? How do I not pay so much money? It's from our perspective, it's a good thing because you're thinking about it. You're just applying it a little bit wrong in terms of how you're thinking about it or how you're executing it, right? And so we have the opportunity to help people unpack that question, those, and provide insights. We have the opportunity to help people say, okay, let me lower my anxiety and let me look at what I'm doing. And so we go back to the simple foundation of planning. How do you manage your books?
So you got me.
That's a
You hear
critical
me?
piece, and I think for everyone, I share the same sentiment. As a business owner as well. It's uncomfortable to look at the numbers. It's uncomfortable to say, you know what, I'm gonna go spend $10 on this food per day when I can spend $20 and carry my food with me, because that $20 is going to pay off in itself versus the 30 I just saved where I can allocate that someplace else. Planning, budgeting, forecasting. We have no idea what's going to happen for the future. We just know we have to ride the wave. And the talk, again, the anxious talk of what the environment is doing in terms of recession. Gas is high. So how many folks are constantly in their vehicles driving to and from for business? Gas prices are high. Did anyone anticipate gases being high? No. But if we have an understanding of what the market is doing, how the market works, how business works, we can adjust that and apply those methods to our planning, our budgeting, and our forecasting. And so now we'll be able to say, okay, we have cash reserves for this type of a situation.
All right.
Lowers anxiety.
Yo.
So this goes back to not only having a business plan, but making sure you have your books. And never want to hear, I'm too small to have books. Never want to hear, I'm too small to have books. I am not a huge corporation. Hear that a lot as well. No, we are all our own executives by right. we are all, if we're taking in cash flow and we're kicking out cash flow, we are all good business. Now, we can do good business by making sure we have certain foundational elements in place. So how do you do business? What is your meaning of business? Those are the questions that we tend to ask ourselves on a daily basis. Now, James kind of wanted to go a little bit more into when we talk about tax. When we talk about taxes, what happens during the tax season in terms of planning. Right now, this is the perfect time. We're in May-ish, June-ish, right? This is the perfect time to understand what's going to happen when it comes towards the end of the year. How much money have you made? What are going to be some of the increases in income or revenue, I should say, that you can anticipate or expect or even forecast it towards the end of the year? So now you can put things in place now, not fourth quarter, not the end of the year. And this goes for both individual and business owners as well. This is not specifically for business owners. I can say the same when it comes to a business plan for a business. Well, what's your individual plan for individuals? What's your individual plan? Because we don't have to worry about overhead as a W-2 employee, right? Our taxes get pulled out of our paychecks. So when you go from employee to a business owner, there's a transition there. But you still need to have an individual plan as an employee. Financial plan, investments, maybe real estate, ownership. Maybe you have a business on the side, so you can kind of see how the relationship mends together or not. You'll have a better understanding of how these things actually work. So tax planning, this right here, this is the time. Let's say May, June, July. Those should be your focus months on figuring out what's going to happen at the end of the year. Because when you come to a CPA accounting firm, tax preparer, all they're doing is reporting your activity from the previous year. That's it. And so in most cases, we don't see a lot of individuals that actually have worked out a plan so we can have a look forward. Looking forward is kind of difficult. It really is. A year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, you woke up, your head is full, you have a bunch of to-dos, you have a lot of deliverables, clients intake, whatever it is. It's just a lot going on. Personal life, right? There's a lot going on. So looking forward is just like almost incomprehensible. And so to kind of take the ease off of you, just write it down. Write it down and seek out someone that can actually help you structure your thoughts around what your plan is. Yeah, you got to have an executive summary. Yeah, vision, mission statement. Yeah, you have to have how you're going to handle your risk management to provide reporting for your shareholders, stakeholders, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? Now, I'm going to say this because we talk about this a lot. Hey, James, give me 1 second. We talk about this a lot, quite a few. Business plan is not just for shareholders. It's for your stakeholders. Who are your stakeholders? Your family members. Friends and family that don't understand and know what you're doing. They still believe in you, but they can't see your vision. So you have to paint that out. Because as they adjust, you would need to adjust. If you're married, if you have children, if you're a caretaker for your parents, their caretaking may adjust. How that's going to influence your brain, your energy, your finances. So having a plan is going to help you kind of mold what that actually looks like, and you can adjust as you go. And that can answer your question for tax planning, because then you can look forward. Oh, I need to plan. I need X, Y, Z in a matter of 2 years. I have a kid graduating college. I have this happening, this happen. So how do I adjust? And you put that in, and then you measure your budget against your actuals, and you keep moving forward. So I'm harping on the business. What is business to you? What does it mean to you? Because it's not about selling your product and service. Yeah, you might be great at what you do there, so you can appease your target market. But it all comes back home. What does business mean to you? And so I'm gonna leave it there. James, are you with us?
I think so.
No, cannot hear you.
You can't. I think, yo.
No,
I don't know. People are hearing me.
Still can't hear you.
I don't think you can hear me.
Can't hear you.
But I think the listeners are hearing me. Hold on. I don't know what the problem is. We having a hard time, man. Hard time.
It's okay. It's so see, we have a plan in place.
Yo,
it's like business, right? It hit, technical difficulties on his end. I'm here. So we adjust. We can adjust.
So it's still no go. Can't hear me?
Sure. We had some banter to kind of give off here today, right, James?
Yeah. But Ranita said she
I know.
I don't think Corey can hear me.
Did you unplug your microphone?
Yeah, well, they let me see. I'm gonna put something in here.
Yeah, I'm trying to read your words over there.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know if you've been listening, but I've been talking about our topic.
Yeah, no, I know.
Slaughtering our topic for the day.
Yeah, I know.
Trying to find the words to communicate, and talk to the folks about business. What does it mean to them?
Yeah.
Right? In correlation to having a business plan. In correlation to what we get pretty much every day is, how do I save? How do I reduce? How do I not pay so much in taxes? It's a great question, but that's not it. And so that's kind of, the conversation that we've been having for today.
Okay. Well,
okay. Well, if she can hear you, okay, perfect. You can't hear me. You can hear me.
I hear you.
Okay, I just can't hear you.
Yeah.
Oh, they trying to silo us out, huh? Like, these guys get on this live and they having real conversation.
Yeah, this is bizarre.
Perfect.
I mean,
I love it.
Well, I'm a talk real quick.
Well, you speak, and then I'm gonna fall back for a moment, because then the folks can hear you, and I think you may say, you could point at me and say, Corey, go. Okay.
All right, that's what I'm talking about. We got, you see, that's what teamwork makes the dream work. So I was in here earlier, if you saw me from the little side view, and I came back in now. Got my stuff together. Thanks, Windows 11. Appreciate it. But what we were talking about today was how you do business, and that's Corey was talking to the process of it and some of those things. But we started this when we were talking earlier about the term business, and people always like to say, "I'm in business." I started a business. I've been in business X number of years. Business isn't a catch-all, like friends, business friends. So is never understanding what the steps are to being in business and starting a business and running a business. It's always a case of, it's like, I don't know. I don't have my English teacher on here anywhere, but so there you go. Yeah, that's how we work around it. There you go. So we work. I don't know. It's like having a business. We use business as a noun. It's a descriptor. It's a thing. But how do you do business? And I know Corey talked about planning. Different things like that, we went into that a lot. But one of the other tenets is communication. It's communication, is learning, and then Yeah, now we got feedback. Yeah, we are winning today, buddy. So we are winning today. But but is there you go. So everybody on it. Now we got it going on. This production is outstanding. You know, it's great that we can edit things and do all that. But so basically, you know, we use this term business. Everybody says I'm in business. I'm a business person. I'm a businessman. I'm a business woman. I'm a business dog. You know, Drake, I think he got a business. Everybody got a business nowadays. It's a thing to do. You know, we start a business. No, I go to insert LegalZoom. We use CorpNet, shameless plug, to create entities. But as Corey mentioned earlier, you don't even have to start an entity to be a business. You can just start to say, hey, you know, your lemonade stand right outside, yard sales, whatever. You can have that. But the question is, what does it mean to you? You're in business. What does it mean? And it seems like an obvious question, but the number of small business owners and entrepreneurs that we run into, I don't think that ever crosses their mind. I really don't think they ever think about, I'm in business. What do I do? I think a lot of them, they just go with what they know. I'm gonna sell something or something like that. They don't learn the art of business. They don't learn the functions of business. They don't learn, you know, what it all entails. So it becomes this wise tale that you hear from, you know, you sit down and you watch Shark Tank or you watch The Profit, and then you call our office, you know, you ready to go in business or something like that. But those are television shows that are edited, just like this will be, that are edited to put content in a certain frame of mind. But no matter what size business you have, there are basic functions that happen in business. Basic. You have to, one, generate a need. Well, not so much a need. You have to generate interest. You got to generate traffic. You got to generate sales, for lack of a better word. So you have to market what you do. In other words, you got to tell somebody what you do. And you got to make sure they know they want what you do. Then you have to sell them what you do. And you have to deliver them what you do. And you have to collect your money. That's business. Now, it takes different forms in different ways, but that's what it is. And you know, too many times, I mean, that's so when we break down doing business, that's doing business. It can get a lot more technical. Also, you got to keep track with your finances, and in some cases your inventory, human resource. So most businesses, all businesses have these one or more of these functions that have to happen, but people don't recognize that. So, and as they grow, often that's what causes a problem, because they're not familiar with what goes into running a business. They're familiar in going and doing whatever they do, whatever their aptitude is. And they don't, one, either learn for themselves, or two, work with people that can assist them. And there's different points when you're starting up. It's one thing, that because there are a lot of free resources and things like that, and people at different places, which are great. But once you get into your business, or there's a growth step, it could be a growth from 20,000 to how do I get to 100,000? You have to work with people that have experienced and seen the negatives, the goods, the bads, and otherwise. So that's kind of where we were going. I mean, I got the cliff notes because I'm late to class, but you know, it's all good. So you know, I'll send it over to our correspondent. the Corey with a K. See what see his take on this scenario, as I keep engineering to see if I could get you to hear us in real time. One of my many talents. So, so you back on, my friend. So if you can hear me, there you go.
And I'm back. Can you hear me? Any feedback?
No.
Okay, cool. I'm navigating both devices over here.
No, wow, it's wild.
Well, we get, again. It's about getting. We're trying to get the message out. So you do what you can with what you have to try to adapt and adjust, and then you go back afterward and you look at the data. You look at the data. You look at what has happened. You say, how do we tweak? Thank you, Ronita. No E though, Ronita.
Yep.
Corey with a K, no E.
No, that's right. Corey with a K, no ego.
So again, just kind of circling back to, you have your vision, you have your data, you have processes, you have what are your traction, as James just mentioned, communicating, what you do to your target market, right? Issues. What are issues? We have any technical issues here, but we're able to work around what those issues are. And again, go back, we evaluate, adjust, and then we keep moving forward. And then it boils down to your people. Your people, to the people you're serving, the people you're working with, people you're helping, you name it. Those are the real components. And so the only way to understand those 6 components is, like I said, going back to your business plan, which is your planning, your budgeting, and forecasting, because your numbers are your foundation, right? That's the concrete underneath the building. So you have your foundation, and then you consistently build up. And so when you go from those 6 basic components, vision, data, process, traction, issues, people, now you look into sales, marketing, operations, accounting, deliverables, production, right? And so the story keeps going on. And you have CEO, CFO, managers, salespeople, staff, right? Depending on what industry you're in, it breaks down. All of these things break down. But at the end of the day, money has to go out to take care of the business, to take care of the people that are helping you service your clients or your market. And then you can completely complete the cycle. So again, I think, I'm pretty much, I want to sandbag myself here and do too much in terms of today's talk. But I just want everyone to think about, what does business mean to you? And then how do you do business? Those 2 questions, and reach out to us. Reach out to us. We're here to help. Ask any questions relevant to tax planning, business planning. We have our biz therapy program. Stay tuned for more on that. But that's currently ongoing in terms of current clients we're working with, just to help give a foundation of understanding, which goes back to insight. So you're able to take action. When you have insight, you're able to take action, right? And I saw a statement recently where it says, knowing is better than learning. Right? Because when you're learning, you don't know.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Right? So knowing is better than learning. When you're learning, you don't know. But when you know, you know. And now you realize what you don't know, which is the next level, and you go learn that.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Until you know it, and then you keep going. But at different stages of learning, one of the tricks that I realized within myself, and we talked about this, we talked about I think it's an indirect conversation, basically, is when we're learning something, because because of our experience of what we've already learned in life, or specific skill set, as we're learning something new, we try to put our 2 cents into what we're learning, instead of allowing the openness to learn what it is. Just learn what it is, why it works the way it works, so you can get how it works. And once you have those 3 components in, then you tweak it to who you are. But the facts of of learning whatever it is you're trying to learn don't change. The only thing that changes is the opinions behind it, which is who you are, right? Which you identify with you as that individual. And so this goes back to, what does business mean to you? If we say, well, what is business? We can all Google it and come up with, oh, business is blah, 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 blah. No, what does business mean to you? Because how are you learning? How are you gaining your insights, and how are you taking action? Because then that means, what does business mean to you? And then how are you doing business? I got to get my taxes done. I'm making a lot more money. And we harping on this tax thing because this is the common question that we get. This is the common thought process that we have, that we're dealing with folks, right? Is I don't want to pay so much money in taxes. Okay, well, you've been in business how long? 3 years. Okay, well, how are you keeping your books? Spreadsheet. I have an envelope, shoebox over there.
What,
you know, you know what I mean? So like, I'm gonna let my partner jump in here. I again, I don't want to go too deep into it, but I'm just trying to get a message across to everyone, and I hope that the message is being received in the proper perspective that I'm hoping that is being received.
Yeah. Well, just to go through, what happens is taxes. The tax is the one inflection point where both individuals and businesses deal with. If you look in a straightforward manner, you usually don't promote your household or sell your household. Though that's arguable. Some people, whatever, but you don't do so income tax is like the only place where the functions overlap. That's where they overlap, which makes sense because the point of the business is to take care of the business owner. So people come in, that's all they know. When you work a W-2, and especially when you're first working, and people are like, oh, well, I'm gonna go in business, you're gonna work for yourself. Well, oh man, there's all these things I can deduct, because that's what your peers go, your coworkers, that's all they know. What do they know? Oh, you can take a lot of business deductions when you have a business. Well, yeah, but you're not going into business to take business deductions. You're going into business to make a profit. And but that's the inflection point. So what we're doing here today and talking about, and there's recurring themes in this. This is about learning what business is and how it works and how you do it. And the phases. I mean, whatever you have, if you have an Etsy store, if you selling MLM, whatever you're doing, you have to do more than just the one thing. You have to put more effort in there. You can get an EIN number and LLC and be like, yeah, I'm in business. Okay, cool. What does your business need to do to reach your goals? But like Corey's saying, if you don't have a plan, well, let me start. If you don't have any goals, then you can't plan to get to the goals. So it's a cause and effect type situation. If you just, you have to have that. So you have to learn business. And people love this, oh, I'm not big enough or whatever. Very few businesses start out big. They don't start out big. Start out small. And big and small is all relative anyway. Because by SBA and certain IRS designation, you can have 100, 500 people and still be a small business. So, it's all relative. What's important is, what do you want to happen out of this business? How do you do business? What do you do? And then take it a little further. What are you doing it for? Like the answer I prompted in, you want to make money. That's cool. But there are a lot of easier ways to make money than starting a business. Whole lot of ways to make money that are legal too than starting a business. Starting a business is not the easy way to make money at all. Not at all. Not in the least bit. Not even close. It's not easy. So you gotta respect the game off top. But I mean, what we trying to do today, and we probably have to revisit this after we do a technology audit to figure out what is going on. But I think I figured it out. So, but we'll have to come back to it because it's a theme. We really want people to think about it and understand. Not saying this to, oh, don't do it. This is not a don't. I mean, both of us. I'm advocate of small business, like right here, me, right here, picture in the book. I believe in it, but because of the experience I've had and the fortune I've had to work or be around it the majority of my life, not just my adult life, I take it extremely serious, and because I continue to learn and I continue to grow. So I can see people can do it. Nothing that we're talking about is this like, oh, well, some of y'all just not going to make it. No, you can make it, but it's understanding. It's a discipline. It's a discipline. And because of mass media, we have a lot of cases now where, look, no one wants to watch a TV show where the person's running around trying to figure out how they're going to pay their payroll on Friday. That's not a TV show. Ain't no one want to see that. So, unless it's, and I don't mean for one episode, then Marcus Leonis comes in and fixes it, or Robert Irvine fixes the restaurant and everything is good in 60 minutes. I'm talking about when you got to make that payroll for a whole year. You like, I don't even know how I'm going to make my payroll. Nobody wants to watch that show. Ain't nobody want to see that. That's not, no one would tune into that show. Wouldn't see it. Wouldn't have that. Supply shortage. Employees quitting on you. Employees stealing. Like, who wants to see that show? So you can't use TV. You can't use, there's no knock on any of these shows, but you can't use TV as your compass on what being in business is about, because who would want to see it? I mean, now I will say our show might be kind of interesting, the behind the scenes conversations, but then we probably about to say we wouldn't have much business. Nah, I'm just kidding. Like, it would be kind of interesting, but what I'm saying is the day in and the day out, the conversations that go into running a business are not interesting. Like I say, starting a business is sexy. Running a business is not. It does not. I mean, it's nothing about it. It's just the same thing like elections. Elections, oh, they're exciting. Oh, whatever. But governing, not that exciting. So you don't get dopamine from, like, I get excited over the craziest things. I get excited when the system works. But I'm pretty sure I could not get a primetime television show where I'm all like, yeah, that was good because this came in and went into that system, went into like that. I mean, people they want to see that. So what I'm trying to explain is that you have to do your research and you have to understand that you have to work very hard to build a successful business. Very hard. Very, 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 very hard. Now we go on TV, or we read in magazines, or we go on the gram. Everybody's a millionaire. And, they did it in like 15 minutes. They'll be like 24 years old and they're a millionaire and they did it in 3 months. And I'm like, okay, right. So that they do that because that's the end game. That's what everybody wants to live on. The end game is the end game. Like, okay, right. Day one, not going to happen for you. It's not going to happen. You have to put work. You're going to have ups and downs. Promise you. I don't care what. And also, no matter what level you get, if you continue trying to go to the next level, you're going to face an obstacle trying to go up a mountain. It's just like mountain climbing. The higher you get, the more the gravity takes effect. I mean, you do it. So don't, more money, more problems, same concept. Like, you got to understand this, that you have to put something in. You have to put that extra in. And it's like how you do it. And back to Corey with a K's point. You take action. You got to do things. You got to make moves. You're going to make mistakes. Promise you. You're going to make mistakes. No problem. Someone's going to be unhappy with what you did. No problem. There's going to constantly be stuff that you don't want to do. Not a problem. But as long as you understand where you're going and your goal and your plan to get there, those things don't affect you as much because they're just part of the deal. They're like, I mean, great example, you know, we have some things, you know, context. People seem to forget, or they conveniently don't deal with the fact that Jeff Bezos started Amazon in a garage. So he started it was in his parents' garage, whatever. I don't know how he was capitalized, whatever. But let's say, I guarantee you there were some people that sent books back, or you know, all the banana stuff that you might have, you know, said this wasn't what you told me, all that stuff. Everything. I'm guaranteeing you there was stuff where he was like, man, I can't wait till I ain't got to do this no more. And you know, he moved and he got into the whole corporate thing, and that's a whole nother level of the game where he's saying. But I'm just trying to point out that we're so fixated on where people end up that we never think about where they started, and especially if you're in the starting gate. If you're in the starting gate, like when I read biographies or something, I'm way more interested in when somebody started. You know, and part of it is because of my, you know, what I've learned. How did you keep doing this? All that? That's not really, that doesn't do it for me. But for me, it's saying that, okay, strategically, you know, what was, you know, how did you go from here and there? What did you see? What happened? What type of things that happened to go from this point to this point? How did you make this move? What was the decision? You know, it's not about a motivation. It's like, yo, you know, how did this get here? What was that? You know, the chess moves, you know, and sometimes it's luck. Sometimes you just luck up. But yeah, this is a very important topic. I don't want to pontificate too much, but because we're not having the dialogue that we usually have. But I think it's saying something. We want to break down the term business so that people understand what they're getting into, what it takes, so they can be successful. Because you cannot, back to what Corey said, when you're learning, you don't know. So when you know, you can execute. And that is one of the major pitfalls that people have, not just in business, but in life. Execution. We all have it. I have it too. I mean, well, Exhibit A this morning didn't execute. Right, like that's Exhibit A. Ain't why? I'll be honest, it was preparation. I should have had this stuff checked before when I figured out what was wrong. Openly admitted, clear, right here on International Broadcast TV. Yeah. All right. So that's what happened. So execution is what kills the cat, for real. Lack of it. And so, but it's difficult to execute when you don't know what you're doing. You know, you don't know what you're executing. One, you don't know where you're going. And two, you don't know just basic stuff, what I have to do. So you become subject to people coming in telling you, oh, I'm a so-and-so expert. Hey, for so-and-so a month, pay me this. And I guarantee this is going to happen. Well, you know, but it's not organic to you. It's boilerplate. They drop it on you. I've seen plenty marketing plans. People, they try to sell them to us all the time. This and that. Yo, you do this. And do you want to get more clients or whatever? Well, more leads, something. Well, what we did was we took the long game, going on 10 years now, and implemented a plan that reaps dividends. And now guess what? We're tweaking the plan now. Like, okay, that was phase one of that plan. And, you know, it's no, I mean, we can go on and on. This could be a testimony. I mean, sales prior to Corey with a K here, I sat down and told myself I had to learn sales because I was speaking to the clients or the prospects. And I was like, oh, I got to learn how to do this. This was, I just had to learn. So I started going down and learning, and paying attention because I was like, man, I had to put process to it. Then we got to a point, we continually build on that. Okay, what's the process look like? What does the process looks like when Corey with a K isn't speaking to everybody? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's about learning you see who's coming. Yeah. Okay, we got a question. What was the catalyst? Oh my gosh, yo. But man, you know what I'm saying? We got representing from the K9 community out here. It's all good. But what was the good catalyst, huh? The catalyst, wow. The catalyst is and continues to be the belief in helping people and the belief that helping people and believing in small businesses, people's small businesses can do a lot of things. If we had, even if we had 100 small businesses, like viable small businesses that'll last in the next year.
I know I can't hear you, and I'm about to slide into
I know,
you.
but I'm gonna finish my part. I throw it in
quick, and then I'm gonna mute myself. But
but the other thing,
this is about to be interesting.
And the other thing,
we've already he's alive. He's awake.
Yeah, hold on. But the other thing is better every day. You get 1% better every day. You 365% better in a year. So that's the catalyst. Just get better 1% every day. That's something. Whether it's how you pronounce something, the way that you look at the camera, speak to the camera, whatever. 1%. That's the catalyst. So I'll send it over to you now. You get you got it. It's on you. Go ahead. You don't hear me. See, this is what I'm saying. We bananas right now. Go ahead. You on.
Oh man, we have to get this fixed. Because we can't, bumper cars every now and then, But we have our esteemed colleague that just posed that question. Mr. D&D. He's awake now.
Yeah.
So
so
very excited.
Working.
So just to kind of piggyback off of what James said, 1%. Yeah, 1%. At the end of the year is, 365, right? Every day. Sort of like cash flow. If you know how to understand your cash flow, money in, money out, and you have discipline, you'll have a lot more. Even if you spend $7 a day times 365, whatever that number is, if it's unnecessary, you can utilize that number towards something else. But again, we won't pontificate. I'm gonna turn it back over to you, James, so we could close on out and so we can continue with our beautiful Saturday.
Yeah, because it's a beautiful hot Saturday. And yes, but that's the catalyst. But that's one of the things that we're talking about. Now notice, I didn't say a thing about making money. That's not what pushes it. That's because some one of my talents. I mean, I can make some money. That's that's not a problem at all. So we can do that. But we at the end of the show, technical difficulties and all, we still pulled it off. That's what I'm talking about. So we're gonna wrap this up, and as I said, we'll revisit this again. Probably we'll start breaking this down and talking about different sections and getting into it, because it seems like a core. It's really a core conversation, and it's important for all the other subjects we've covered before. that some of this stuff is the bedrock of it. To say, okay, what's going on? Because we talk about our philosophy here at Haywood CPA is about using financial data to run your business. So even within that, using your financial data to plan your marketing, using financial data to set up your sales, using financial data to understand human resource in terms of hiring and how you're going to train people and how you're going to show them appreciation. It's more than just paying them. Like what kind of things can you do for your staff to keep them going? It's all data based. So, and we take it from the scorecard of business, which is accounting. Accounting, nothing but the scorecard. That's what it is. So, that being said, even though I got here late, thanks for being with us. We'll be back in 2 weeks. Next week's the holiday word. So we'll be back in 2 weeks with another exhilarating episode. And we should have our technical set up. I promise you the technical will be fine next go. But if you have any questions, any thoughts on this, one, you can check us out. Facebook, YouTube. Go to our YouTube channel and subscribe. I'm telling you, you want to do that now, because there's going to be some interesting topics coming on the YouTube channel real soon. Haywood CPA blog. You can go there, leave some comments on the episode. If you listen to the podcast, like us, share the love, share it. Because our goal is to spend, to share this information with the public and help them run better businesses. So, and you can always email us live at Haywood CPA if you have any questions or topic suggestions. That would be great. So with that being said, we out. Chuck up the deuce. We gone.